Wait,
Sound-
go ahead.
D to the A, with the Lions, y'all rockin' with the Braves. Yeah, we pay. Yeah, we pay. I'ma turn
Oh boy, welcome
Turn
to
it up on them.
D Sports Bets, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with my brother Dominic and my brother Darian, and we are ready to rock your wallet this week, and we are taking the books money. Dominic, take it over.
All right. Week 15 going into college football. COVID hit us, but we don't care. We're still going after the books. This is how we do it. COVID, there's about to be a pandemic at the casinos. That's what's gonna happen. So, early morning slate here. We're just gonna get it started off real quick. First game, the number 1 seed, Alabama, 9-0, going off 11 in the morning Central Time. They are 32-point favorites against Arkansas. Let's start with Darian. What you got?
What's interesting is it's the end of the season and Alabama's already clinched the SEC title to go on to play Florida. So you look at it, I think they're not going to take this game too seriously. I think Arkansas may backdoor it a little bit. A couple freshmen getting in the game, get a few future stars looked at from Alabama. Maybe a 3, maybe 4 touchdowns, but 32 points. I like Arkansas on the back door in this one.
I'm going to stop you real quick right there. Do you know who their freshman quarterback is? Do you know who their backup is?
Yeah, but I think at the same time, what matters is Saban does it all the time. He goes out there, second half. He's already done a hurting on them in the first half, takes everybody out. He substitutes his guys in. The defense is what matters. Having those freshmen on defense, an Arkansas team that's still wanting to score, and this is the last game of the season as well. Arkansas is going to take this game in the second half probably more seriously than Alabama. I would wait for the back door right there.
This is Arkansas senior night. This is their last game right here for these seniors to get that chance. So everyone always has a little bit of that extra edge coming off. By not any means are we saying Arkansas is going to win this game. They are going to lose by 30 points. But the spread's 32.5. There's a chance that they backdoor this game, fourth quarter, Lord touchdown. They're going to cover this 32-point spread. Now, if you're feeling even crazier, money line them. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
Nah, don't
Go
die.
out there.
Don't do that. Do not money line them because Alabama will be taking care of it.
But
If I'm being honest, I would never touch this game just because Arkansas is KJ Jefferson. But if I have to, I would take Alabama by the 32 because they have destroyed every team they've played. It
And
doesn't
I'm
matter.
telling you guys right now, being in the Southeast, they bet only on Southeast football games. So a game like this, it doesn't mean too many big things to us. In the Southeast, it's huge out there. They bet SEC football only. They'll do 5-team parlays off of it.
Well, that's that for that game. Looks like you guys are both rocking with Arkansas, and I'm still trusting Alabama by the 32, Mac Jones. But moving on, next game we're going to have is Illinois and Northwestern, also the same start time. This game's going to be in Northwestern, and Northwestern is favored by 14 as the number 14 team in the nation. Donovan, go ahead and take this one away. Who are you starting with?
Last year, I was a huge fan of what Lovie Smith was doing over there in Illinois. This year, it's been quite a disappointment. I thought that they were going to take one of those big steps forward. One of those teams that's like, oh, Illinois, look at Lovie Smith. He's turning things around over there. But at a 2-4 start this year, playing against the number 14 team in the nation, I think Coach Fitzgerald over there's got this team dialed in, ready to make a little bit for themselves over there in Northwestern. I would take them 100%, even by the spread. 14 points, that's 2 touchdowns. You mean to tell me they're not 14 points better than this Illinois team? Absolutely.
You don't think that's an overrated number 14?
100% and didn't even. Oh man!
You don't think that's an overrated
So
number 14 team? That's a COVID 14 team. That's a.
I'm with Dominic on this one. I don't know if I'm taking the next lead here, but I might as well just step in.
I'm not saying I'm throwing this on my ticket, all right? But if I had to choose, you know what I'm saying? In this game, if I had to pick a spread in this game, I'm taking
But
this.
the people are listening. And you have to take Illinois in this one.
I'm not taking this game, bro.
They're the more comfortable offense. You're betting on a comfortable offense.
Western defense only gives up 15 points a game, ladies and gentlemen. Are we kidding me right now?
What are they playing for?
Against Tua's brother? There's a reason Tua's brother left Alabama.
Okay. Tua's brother plays at Maryland, guy, not at Illinois. We're talking about
Northwestern opened the season up against Maryland, my guy.
So what are you saying right now?
Okay, but let's just
that's my point.
Okay.
The Northwestern.
They're winning by 14 points.
Oh my. I don't think I can agree with that one either. I like Brandon Peters in Illinois in
Yeah.
that offense.
I'm with Dominic on this one. Last
This-
time we
That
teamed up
offense,
against
they scored 21 a game. I don't know what you guys see in this one. I'm a little disappointed.
Pat Fitzgerald is like making me
Disappointed, huh?
I'm a bit disappointed. Like more than like I'm just hot.
I got the upset.
Oh my goodness, you guys are out of your minds on
I
this
would
one.
be shocked if Illinois pulls off the upset 9 a.m. Is that game at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, it's a 9 a.m. on
Yeah.
your side.
You're gonna be sitting there eating Cheerios, and Illinois is gonna be winning. It's gonna be amazing.
You're tripping.
Brandon Peters, remember that?
All right, well, moving on to the next one, another little dispute among there. That's why it's the Triple D. You can get all our insight, and you take with what you
You
want.
never know what you're gonna get.
Book yourself, you create your spreads, and then you get our final analysis, and then you make that money. The Utes going into Colorado. Utah favored by 1, even though they're 1-2. Colorado is 21 in the nation, 4-0, but they're dogs. How do you feel? Donovan, take it away.
Well, honestly, this Utah team lost a ton of players last year. They have not looked good so far in their first 3 games. Nothing to be impressed by any means. This Colorado team has a chance to make a statement here. If they go 5-0, they're going to be looking at that Pac-12 championship. They have a chance to jump the rankings right here. You know, a 5-0 team to the college football playoff team, maybe they're not jumping in the top 4, but from 21 to 10, 21 to 15, they're going to make a huge jump to make a name for themselves in this one. I think that they're going to come out with the win, especially at home.
Darian?
Jake Bentley's really struggled fitting in at Utah. The first game when I watched him against Oregon State didn't look impressive, and they struggled. I think it was 2 or 3 quarters into that game. And I also think that they're playing Colorado, a team that's got their offense together, a coach that has built a program for the last 5 years, and Pac-12, I would even say, firmly a powerhouse in the last 5 years. They actually have won Pac-12 championship appearance as well, and they've been in the top 4 for the last 4 or 5 years. So I wouldn't be shocked to see them beat Utah. I don't know why they're dogs. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, be that the sportsbook knows they're dogs for a reason. It's just probably still a better team. I think Colorado opened up the first half of the season against one of the poorer halves of the Pac-12 conference, and in this COVID environment, like I said, with the Northwestern, teams are just getting rankings anywhere. Like, to be honest, I think Liberty reached all the way up to number 13 at one point. So, and then
if Liberty goes through and attacks their conference during the season like everybody else, they're definitely an undefeated Power 5 school. I mean, that happens every year at UCF or Memphis. I mean, that's normal, whether you have COVID or not.
With the COVID year, it gives the players like an extra bit of like a boost in the locker room. You know what I mean? Like they're coming in there, they're like, oh shit, we're ranked 21 in the nation. We're 4-0, and they got us as dogs against Utah. They're going into this game fired up right now, locked in, loaded. They're like, look, we're 21. We have a chance to make the chance here to 15 to 10. You never know what type of energy they're going to bring to this game, but I bet you their energy is going to be a lot more than the 1-2 Utah Utes having to travel into Colorado for this one.
It's not like Utah's that far from Boulder, Colorado, but
and you got to watch talking about the road to home type travel because
it's not the
without
same.
the fans there, it really takes from you.
Any travel is a travel. It's you're out of your comfort zone. Different COVID rules in different states. You know what I'm saying? Different locker
I
rooms.
just would not trust Jake Bentley. I know he's awful.
I'm all in on Colorado on this one.
I'm saying that on this show, by the way. Jake Bentley's awful. He will throw 2 interceptions tomorrow. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
All right. I'll rock Colorado too. I just don't. I watched that Utah team get. Was it? When did you bet on them? I think it was Thanksgiving, right? When you took them, Donovan, with against Washington, and Washington came all the way back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not too trustworthy that you.
It wasn't the night after. Yeah, it was a killer one. Let's not even talk about that one. Why are we bringing that up on the show?
So next up, we got Rutgers and Maryland. I'll start off with this one. It's an 11 a.m. game. Also, that or 9 in the morning on your guys' side, 11 where I'm at. Yeah, Rutgers is bad. I took last week. I did a $1,000 ticket, and was all willing to take a 1-4 Penn State team. I think it was by 2 touchdowns, with no hesitation. They did it. Rutgers is bad. Their quarterback's bad. Verdal. They opened up the season great against Michigan State, but Michigan State's bad. So
defense is bad. The worst problem in the country.
For me on this one, the biggest thing that you're looking at right there is defense. The Rutgers, they don't play any bit of it. And the one thing that Tua Brother has done right this year is throw the football around the field like crazy. Whether that's picked or not, he's throwing the football like 30 times a game, and he's throwing at least 3 to 4 touchdowns in almost every single one of his starts. Tua's going to
talk
talk this
over.
one. I'm a big fan of the over as well, but I do think they're just going to win by 21.
So I think personally the Maryland team started off bad, but I think this second momentum, second stage, I think Michael Locksley has turned his team around. I think Tua's brother is finding a little bit more momentum, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, but like you said, he's airing it out, and the Rutgers defense isn't stopping them. Honestly, it might be a game I might throw on my ticket tomorrow. Maryland by 6.5. It's not my lock of the day, but Maryland by 6.5 is definitely something I'd look into.
I like Maryland by the 6.5 as well.
Do you trust Maryland's defense?
More than Rutgers defense.
More than the Rutgers offense.
Here's my thing, though. If you get into a shootout, you need the quarterback to shoot it out, and Rutgers does not have that offense. Verdal is not a thrower.
If it's me, if we're talking to the people, you got to make sure they're going in there knowing that they have the better chance to win when playing with us. And I think if you ask me about this game, you got to go the over. You're questioning maybe Maryland has a defense, and Rutgers has no defense. And this Tua brother, if he's anything like his brother, he should light him up for 42-21. He should have a high-scoring game.
Take the over 58?
Yeah. It should definitely reach the 60s, especially if you guys are talking about this Maryland quarterback able to come out and line him up and cover the spread.
All right. Well, next game, we're going into Penn State and Michigan State, another 9 in the morning game for you, Slate. Penn State, 14.5-point favorites at home. Donovan, what are you starting off with there?
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening deeply inside, if you're thinking about betting this game, stay away from this game. Both of these teams have had ups and they've had downs this year. Both of these teams have been very disappointing going into the season. Clifford has been one of the biggest disappointments as a college football quarterback.
The Lee Corso rogue. Not so fast, my friend. Here's what I'm going to let you know.
He pulls it out early.
This Penn State team, in their last 2 games, has found their offense, has found their defense, both in road games. Beat Rutgers 23-7.
They only scored 23.
John Harbaugh's Big Blue 27-17. They found their defense. They are back. Penn State's going to win by close to 30 points. That Michigan State team is bad. Ricky Lombardi at Michigan State quarterback, bad. They only average 17 points. They don't even rush for 100 yards.
Look, both
They're
of these
a bad team.
teams are very disappointing. And I don't think that a 14.5-point spread in a Big Ten conference game with these two teams is good enough. It's not. It's
John Franklin has these guys fired up to finish the season any stronger than what they've started.
And
because he's not a good coach.
I watched their first.
Don't bet it.
I watched their first 5 games, and when they were 0-5, and they were bad. These last 2 games I watched them fired up, more motivation, getting wins. It's a different team. It is not the same team.
Okay, but hold on. Michigan is bad. That quarterback, that offense. Harbaugh was supposed to be gone 5 years ago. That's how bad Michigan is right now.
They better not give that boy a contract extension. That boy need to go.
So you can't count Penn State for looking good against Michigan because Michigan is bad. It's a dumpster fire. It's red alert down there in Ann Arbor right now.
We're going to move on from that. You guys are both looking like a not touch. I'm willing to probably put Penn State on that ticket, but that's neither here nor there. Let's move on. 9 a.m., another 9 a.m. game. We got Northern Illinois and Eastern Michigan, and let me tell you how much I hate this Eastern Michigan team. Last week on my $1,000 ticket, I had the 4-0 Western Michigan to just win. Plain and simple, they were 11-point favorites, and I moneylined them. Just win. Their quarterback is Ely's a monster. They could not stop Eastern Michigan scored every offensive possession It was ridiculous. Pete Hutchinson at quarterback. They were 0-4.
1-4.
I took a 4-0 team, 11-point favorites, money line, and they lost in their home stadium.
They gave up.
Yeah, but they were
like I said,
also
just lose. They gave up 53 points. Western Michigan let you down, my friend.
And the thing was, it wasn't their offense. Their offense went right back up and would score. The defense was just so bad. And I'm telling you right now, I would never bet on MAC football again after that moment. That hurt.
Yeah, I would honestly stay away from this game as well. I mean, Eastern Michigan's not any good. Northern Illinois is 0-5. They're looking for their first win 10. I don't know what thing to tell you about this game. This game is not exciting, and I wouldn't bet it.
I think I'm with you on that one. I don't think I would touch a MAC football game.
I guess
if you can hear, if you can watch the game and you can hear the guy at the stadium talking, you shouldn't bet the game. And what I mean by that is where there is nothing there. It literally looks like a high school field. You don't bet those games.
So we're just gonna go ahead and skip that Western Michigan game and Ball State game because that's another MAC game. And like I just said, what Western Michigan did to me last week, I don't even want to talk about them. I'm still a little tender from it. So we're gonna jump right into some ACC action. Another 9 a.m. game. Louisville favored by 2 at home against the Demon Deacons. Darian, who are you taking?
Louisville at the beginning of the year, they had good offensive talent with Michael Cunningham, the quarterback. They were taking over, and it looked bad, but they held their strong. And what the thing is Wake Forest has no defense. And the one thing I realized about Louisville is when you're betting this game, you're looking at basically both teams are bad, and they're in their last week. So you're looking for where's that inner strength, that inner heart, that inner passion. And the one thing I go back to, I would take Louisville in this game because I've seen them defend well against a tough team like Notre Dame. Look how good their defense was. So if they go in there and you come out in that last game and you're fired up and you pull out that inner passion, like you said, Louisville's favored by 2. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a reason why. Because then when they go down, they reach deep down inside, and they pull out their inner passion, you're going to see real Louisville football. I would not be shocked if they humble Wake Forest because Wake Forest defense, I'm correct, 37 points a game, I think they give up. So I wouldn't be shocked to see a 40 spot for Louisville.
I wouldn't be shocked to see an over in this game. I think both offenses have the capability of scoring 30 to 40 points tomorrow.
Definitely. Wake Forest quarterback is a future NFL quarterback, Spencer Hartman. He's already thrown for 1,600 yards, 8 touchdowns, not a single interception on the year.
Yeah, Hartman's a monster. Michael Cunningham also has that dual threat ability to run all over this defense a little bit. That big prospect on Wake Forest's defense, though, don't know how he's going to be in effect tomorrow, just with the ability of that dual threat, getting outside the pocket and escaping. I think it's gonna be a very high scoring game. I don't know about a spread on this one. 2 points. It's not so much a field goal to cover, but it's only 2 points. So you might get that field goal on the other end. I don't really know how I feel about the spread on this one. I would take the over in this game just because it's only at 69, and I could easily see both teams dropping 40.
All right.
Go
ahead and you guys know me. I don't touch the over-unders. I can't sit here and root for a team not to score. It's hard.
But can I ask why? Because when you're watching a game, like you're literally watching it for the point of teams touching the end zone.
I can't watch totals.
That's interesting.
Not my forte, man.
I guess that's for a later time, but that's interesting because I just don't get why you would not play with the totals, especially in like the game tonight, the Arizona State game. Unreal. 70-7.
Imagine taking the total and Arizona's just not scoring. That's just not the way to go.
See, I told Donovan today when we got together, I said, Arizona's garbage. So you literally would have been betting for Arizona State to score anyway. So that's literally how I had the game going.
I mean, we honestly are. We cashed out anyway. We're all about that money around here. You know what I'm saying? We cashed out anyway.
Yeah, college basketball, man. What a day, the hoops.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go ahead and move on right here to a 1:30 Central Time. So what's that, 11:30 your guys' time, I believe? 10?
Yeah.
Is
that another MAC game?
Yeah. Buffalo, Akron. Buffalo by 33. I mean, The running back had what, 8 touchdowns?
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
Is
week.
Buffalo playing for the MAC championship?
they're 4-0.
I mean, if they lose this game, they won't be. But I don't see them losing this game. I think they're going to win by another 50 points.
Yeah,
Take
that,
the over, man.
that running back might score 33 points himself.
Take the over.
Yeah, he
That
has,
active defense is abysmal.
All right, we're just gonna go ahead and move on from that. We're all siding with Buffalo there. So now let's get
Yeah.
the Chanticleers and Troy.
I'll start this one off. I'll start this one off for you guys real quick. Every single year, there's a team like Coastal Carolina that comes out of nowhere. They're 13-0. They're 14-0. They need to be this. Give them a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't always cover, especially coming off a gigantic win against that BYU team. This is the biggest letdown spot of the year. If you are a fan of understanding how letdowns come, there's a reason why they're only favored by 13.5. If they're so much better than this Troy team, they'd be favored by 21, 28, right? No, ladies and gentlemen, Troy is going to cover this 13.5 points tomorrow. Take that to the grave.
I disagree with that.
I've got to ask this question. Who won last week? Was it BYU or Coastal Carolina? I have to be refreshed.
Would you like an actual answer on that, or do you just
Yeah, I want the actual answer.
Coastal Carolina won that game, Darian?
Okay. This is a letdown spot. Big time letdown.
Big
That's why I
time.
opened up that question. Because I was just trying to see where your head was. Because I'm big on letdowns. And this is a letdown spot.
So I just want to go back to what you said. These teams don't cover spreads. Coastal Carolina
Letdown spots, man.
Coastal Carolina is 10-0 against the spread this year. They are 6-0 against the spread in 7 of the last conference games. They are legit. There's no way to put it.
You're not worried about a letdown.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Cross your mind. You're just on.
Not playing on the road of your last game of the season against a Troy team that's 5-5 and needs to put, if we have bowl games, could be potentially bowl eligible. You're not worried about a letdown spot right there.
I'm not worried about the letdown. I'm more worried for a trap game. They play Louisiana next week, who is 9-1, which they already played tough at a 30-27 ball game.
So there you go. You also have to add that to the fire, right? You have that on top of the big game last week against the Cougars and BYU, who probably won't lose another game the rest of this year, obviously. We'll get to that in a minute, I'm sure. But
I'm more worried about the trap game. I'd say, honestly, a game to win touch because you'll sit there and you'll be like, they should have lost or made it close. There was a trap game. It was a letdown. And then Coastal Carolina will go out there and win 30-3. And you'll be sitting there like, it's Coastal.
I would say that if they would have lost to BYU.
Let's just move on. We're just going to skip the next MAC game.
I'm just saying.
Now, you know me, Navy, Army. I have to say it. Go Army. Beat Navy. Army's favored by 7.5 against a 3-6 midshipmen. What are we rocking with, boys?
Can I kick this one off, or you gonna go?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I'm all over this one. You said 7.5, and every time the sportsbook posts 7.5, you know what I think? They're too scared to give you a 7 or less because they know the domination that will happen in that game. They want to make you sweat out. Oh, I don't want to bet 7.5. I don't want a team by 8 points. I actually like Army by the 7.5. Navy is the epitome of garbage. I took them to start their season terrible. I took BYU to destroy them, won 55-3. And it's going to be the same thing tomorrow. Army's going to run the ball down their throats and probably put 40 on them and stop them too. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't score maybe 17. I give them 35-17, 42-17. Oh, yeah. They're covering the A.
Donovan?
I'm all over Army on this one as well. I think they're going to win by the 7.5. I just don't see Navy being able to compete in this game. This Army team is just more talented than them. Just overall, athletically, physically, they're faster, stronger. They're just better than this Navy team.
I have to root for Army. I have to. You guys know it, unfortunately.
I think it's gonna come through. I think
Wow.
they're gonna destroy them.
Folks coming out, yeah.
And I have to. My LT's from West Point, so I gotta root for him.
Don't you wish you can go to the game this year?
Anywho,
No.
big game next week. I think this is College Game Day is down in Miami, I believe.
Are you sure? I thought college
I'm
game day-
sure they are playing North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's down there.
I thought they were in West Point. I'm always in West Point, so that's why I was just
They
assuming.
might be at West Point though because of the Army.
Yeah.
Number 17 Tar Heels go into Miami to play the Hurricanes at ranked at number 10. And the Hurricanes, this is your ABC game. It's national televised. Miami's favored by 3. What are you guys rocking with? I'll start it off. Sam Howell is not legit. He is not. He's not the man. Here's what I'm going to say right now. I bet this game with Donovan back that Thanksgiving weekend when they played the Irish. And I told him it takes one good defense. It takes one. And the Irish held that man to 14 points. The best offense in the country. 3 potential first-round draft picks. They all lead the college football in touchdowns. Was held to 14 points. De'Aaron King is going to light up a field day with North Carolina. North Carolina's season is depleted. They can't do nothing more. There's no ACC championship. There's no national championship. They have 3 losses. They didn't beat the number 2 Irish. They don't care no more. De'Aaron King is still playing for an NFL spot. That man is going to ball out and still prove that he has a shot at the next level. Miami Hurricanes by 3.
Who's next on that?
Go for it.
Am I going?
I said
Yeah,
go
go
for it.
ahead.
All right. I'm with you on that one. Miami -3. I told you this morning, Donovan. We got to talking about North Carolina. I think their hopes and dreams were kind of smashed losing that Notre Dame game. I kind of felt like their season was in a crystal ball, and Notre Dame ran through the table and knocked it over and broke it. Now the crystal ball is gone. They don't care no more. 2020 North Carolina Tar Heels are done. Miami's defense, you know how fun it's going to be for Miami just to go out there and have 3 interceptions on Sam Howell and have the turnover chain for those seniors in that home field tomorrow. I'm all over Miami. They're going to bring out that passion. That that passion always lives. And for the seniors that aren't there, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. I'm telling you.
I am all over both of you right now. Did you seriously just sit there with your Notre Dame in the background and tell me that Sam Howell's not legit?
So my boys.
You just sit there and
Notre Dame won.
I am sickened by the words coming out of both of your mouths right now. Sam Howell is the next Ben Roethlisberger. This man is a monster. This man is going to come out there tomorrow and torch Miami. Absolutely obliterate this Miami defense and embarrass them. They are going to get upset on senior night in their home field. That is what's going down.
I disagree.
Going down.
I think for the folks that are listening to that,
Throw it
that's
down. Drop the hammer.
that's nonsense.
Yeah, you can't do that against old De'Aaron King.
You got a better chance of winning
I
craps.
don't like De'Aaron King.
It's just a quick update for you over there, Darian. Touchdown San Jose State. I told you they're the best team in the Mountain West Conference. Do not touch
I was
it.
all over Starkle
What's
today.
the score?
I was telling this man.
They are the best team in the Mountain West Conference.
What's the score?
21-20.
It's a 1-point game.
San Jose State just got the ball back too. They're about.
It's getting ugly.
That's the best team in the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, Reno made a bad mistake in that third quarter. They screwed up. But that's why I'm not a big fan of betting on Friday night either.
All right. Next game on the slate, we got Wisconsin going into Iowa. Wisconsin 2-point favorites against this number 16 ranked Hawkeyes. I'll start it off. I like the quarterback battle personally. Graham Mertz, Spencer Petras, both possibly potential NFL quarterbacks. I personally like Iowa though. honestly as the 2-point dogs at home. You can't go wrong that way.
Money line.
Yeah, I mean,
I felt that way this morning too.
I would like Iowa and Spencer Petras.
I,
I think Wisconsin hasn't gelled well yet. If you want my take on that, I feel like Wisconsin's only played like 4 games this year, maybe 3 or 4. They had like a bunch of cancellations due to their COVID concerns,
yeah,
and they haven't gelled yet as a team. And again, another senior spot. It's the last week for the Big Ten. Iowa's at home. It's the last week for everybody. You get a lot of home games. You get that heart. Iowa's another stadium where the heart and tradition comes out of that field, and I feel like a team like Wisconsin in a big battle like that, a rivalry game, you're going to get Iowa's best at home. Especially, I'm not really impressed. Like this Wisconsin team's not running the ball down your throat, stopping you to 7 points a game. And they weren't the team from last year that beat Michigan 35-7. Their defense is actually very vulnerable this year, and I think it's going to get exposed just as much on the ground for this Iowa team. They ground and pound. They're nasty, man.
you know, I'm not a huge fan of this Wisconsin team this year, but I don't put it past them to go out there and play their hearts out either. This team's always been well disciplined every year, in and out. They rarely get blown out in games unless it's like a Ohio State team. That's just ridiculous. But this team's gonna go out there. They're gonna compete against this Iowa team, and I think they're gonna pull this one out. I'm gonna take them by the 2 points.
So you're telling me that you don't trust the Wisconsin team, but you trust them on the last Saturday against a pretty gritty Iowa team? That's pretty okay. I mean,
Next game, we got Oklahoma State and Baylor. Chuba Hubbard listed as questionable. Silas Sanders is still our quarterback, and Wallace will be out there as well. What are y'all taking? Oklahoma State by 5.5.
I think that this Baylor team is not good. Watched them for a couple of weeks. Nothing impressive about them. Charlie Brewer is going to throw 3 interceptions tomorrow. Oklahoma State's going to win this game by more than a touchdown. And if you add Chuba Hubbard into that mix tomorrow, if he does lace it up tomorrow and go out there against this team, he's gonna make that a 14 to 21 point game. They're just so much better than this Baylor.
I think who cares? Honestly, who cares? I think Oklahoma State comes out with all this talent every year, these little dynamic duos, and they lose 3 or 4 games, and they don't mean nothing come December. Nothing. Every year. I don't care. Both teams suck again for the 4th year in a row. Congratulations. I think nobody bets. You should not bet this game. You should not, because I wouldn't be shocked if Hubbard sat his ass down. Excuse me, but I'm serious. He's gonna sit down.
I would too. I mean, I've been reading reports that he's probably going to come back again to Oklahoma State next season just to not go to the draft. So,
And despite not having bowl games this year, or maybe not having them, I would be disappointed to even play in something like that.
next game on the slot, Houston, Memphis. Cougars by 4.5. I'm all over Memphis.
I am all over Memphis in this.
Their quarterback is a monster. Offense is great. Defense is a little subpar, but Houston's subpar. They're just not a stellar team. They haven't been right since Greg Ward left. They're just not good. Honestly, they're just not good.
You know who I really like in this one? Not so much even Brady White, is that receiver, Calvin Harris. That guy, he catches the ball every time it's thrown his way. He's a playmaker. And I think that against this Houston team, I don't know. They have more wins than them for a reason. Maybe that's because they played less games. Okay, maybe. But no,
You know what I love the most?
what do you like over there, big dog?
The American Conference, they have no defense. I love the over, man. I love it. Those two teams are going to chuck the ball down the field. The clock's going to take longer than anything in life, and it's going to be nothing but scoring. I've seen Houston put up some points against a really good Cincinnati defense, a team that was giving up, I think it was 12.9 points per game. Memphis was giving up 50, I think it was 39 or 40, to a UCF team that was literally less than 500 on the record. So I wouldn't be shocked to see these two battle it back and forth. Maybe it's almost like basketball. They're going to get on a little bit of a run, a 21-0, back and forth. I wouldn't be shocked if it hits the 60s or 70s.
All right.
I can see a very high score game, but
What is that actual total? Where are we getting that at?
63.
63.
Yeah, that's going over.
I'm taking Memphis plus 4.5. I think that you're giving them a field goal. You know what I mean?
I
Maybe not
might
the-
even money line them.
I mean, I'm down for the money line as well.
Houston's defense could be nasty though.
Plus the 4.5, you're getting a field goal plus another point. I like those odds.
Houston's
All right.
defense got some movements.
We'll look at next game, Cal, Washington State. I'll do another quick start off with that. Garbers at Cal. A little rusty to start off. Was a potential hot-looking NFL quarterback. So fell off, but I still think they're going to go get that 1-point spread and cover that. Washington State's not a good team. I still personally think they shouldn't have gotten rid of Mike Leach. They let Mike Leach go, but it is what it is. I'm going.
I know what you said. Chase Garbers doesn't look like he looked like an NFL quarterback last week against Oregon when he terminated my bets. I had a $500 ticket on the line with Oregon, and these boys, Cal, just hurt me very, very harshly. Chase Garbers looked money. He's rolling out of the pocket, throwing things on the side, on the run, hitting things on the dot. This Washington State team's never, ever had a defense like the history of their damn school for some reason. I think Garbers goes for 4 touchdowns and miles, and they win this game.
I'm gonna be honest. I watched Chase Garbers, and I think it's kind of like a Jared Goff. And that's what I think. The dude could play. He's got a secret talent about him. Now, will he be drafted as high as Jared Goff? Probably not. In this one, I wouldn't be shocked if they go into Pullman and pull it off. And, like you said, Donovan,
Jared Goff, could you be drafted higher than him? I don't know.
could he be drafted higher than Jared Goff?
Yeah,
He said
Is that
as
what you said?
high. He said as high. I'll defend him.
I said as high.
let me just get on this kid's head real quick.
I said as high. He won't be drafted as high, but still, he's got that secret talent. He's got the height, the stat shoot, the precision, and the mindset. And I like Jared Goff coming into the year.
All right. So next game, we're rocking the Blue Devils and the Seminoles, both 2-6, 2-8 teams. Florida State by 3.5. Very boring game down there in Tallahassee. But honestly, I would never touch it. Connor Bryce is bad.
Chase Bryce.
Chase Bryce. I think Justin Blackman's still their quarterback. James Blackman.
They
Still
got
bad.
so many.
They switch him out
changes.
every week. It's insane.
Yeah, their quarterbacks. I don't even know who their coaches
What
is.
happened to
It was
Malik
Willie
Henry?
Packer. It was Mike Norvell. Jimbo Fisher might still be there. I don't know what's going on.
Where's
Florida
James?
State-
Where's the crab legs?
Elijah just say leave that program alone and don't touch him. I'm not going anywhere near that game.
Do not bet Doak Campbell this weekend.
Yeah.
Listen to us. Do not bet Doak Campbell this weekend.
I honestly think about it. If you're trying to bet this game, I mean, are you going to be surprised if Duke beats Florida State? Like, no.
It's not
Are you-
even televised.
And then are you
See that work out.
you'd be surprised if Florida State wins? Like, yeah, like no, like it's just a boring game to watch. It's gonna be a dumb game. The only way this game excites me is if both teams score 60 tomorrow.
And the next game on the slate, I'm thinking the same exact thing as the game before, except the only reason people might tune in is because that girl's out there kicking the ball now. Sarah Fuller or whatever. It's
If she
0-8 Vanderbilt.
chance with that offense.
It's 0-8 Vanderbilt, 2-6 Tennessee. Tennessee by 14.5. It's another game I'm not touching.
It's Jalen Hurts running quarterback out there for Tennessee, man. This is terrible.
To be honest, I think afternoon SEC football is terrible unless it's your stud teams like Alabama, Auburn, Alabama, Florida. Besides that, I'm only watching SEC football in the morning, and I guarantee you I will not be tuning into this game.
Absolutely not.
What you do, and this goes out to all people who bet in the world, who sports handicap, whether it's through Bovada, a sports book, William Hill.
A bookie.
Why put your money on a team who is 2-6 or 0-8? Why even put like the Duke and Florida State game? Why put your money anywhere near those teams? It could go so bad so fast. That's why their records are like that. They could be up 28-0, and you're going to be sitting at large at home watching the next game, and next thing you know, you look back and you lost 31-28 because Duke decided to come back. Don't put your money anywhere near games like that. There's no value in it. And I guarantee you, you're going to stress it and hate watching it just as much as I hate talking about it. They are not fun games. You're going to be like, why is there no offense? Well, but there's also no defense. But the issue is with no offense, no one's
There's no
scoring.
team.
It's boring. I think my colleagues will agree. Stay
I
away
think stay
from
away from both those
games.
games. My gosh. Stay out of Nashville and stay out of Tallahassee this weekend. You don't need to be in there.
Let's
You
jump
need to
over
get
to the
someone
West
else.
Coast. Boise State, Wyoming. Boise State by 9.5. Donovan, start us off.
Well, Boise State's still 4-0 in the Mountain West. I know they got one loss so far in the regular season, but they are still 4-0 in the Mountain West. They're still making a push to be the conference champs again. They got to make a statement in this game. 9.5 points, I think, is a very, very coverable game. But on the other side, you know how you guys don't want to talk about this whole road thing. Traveling to Wyoming is a mess. They have like an hour and a half long bus ride just to get from the airport of nothing but dirt, farmland, and gross. There's nothing to see on this ride to the airport, and it is not a hoot. You're not going to go play in some great stadium down there. Okay, this Boise State team though is they're going to overcome all the other crap just because they cannot stop Wyoming. They're simply better athletes. They will win by 10 points.
Wyoming's got that nice rushing offense, though. It's not really a triple option, but they will move the ball. And I seen it when we bet on UNLV that one week, and they're pretty solid.
See, here we go again, bringing up the hurtful ones. You know,
It's always the UNLV that hurts.
I can't believe you guys did that, by the way.
you know we're Black Friday.
Anyway,
You're more of a Mountain West fanatic, so let's hear what
I
you got.
love this conference. Look, I might be getting my butt handed to me right now in that Reno game.
I told you the best team in the Mountain West is San Jose State. I told you
It's
that.
not over yet. We still got 15 more minutes of football to play. But this game, this Boise State game we were talking about, that Boise State's high powered, man. I don't care if they travel through dirt, snow, rain, cactus, fire. That Boise State offense is coming, and that team has to clinch a spot in the championship. They need to play next Saturday, and they're going to humble Wyoming until they get to a certain point to Wyoming can't take it no more. 20, 18. I'm taking them out of 10. I actually did them on the parlay here with Reno. Actually, I did jump on the Boise State as one of a parlay pick.
So this might be one of the few MAC games we'll cover because they're both pretty well above 500 teams. Appalachian State, Georgia Southern, App State by 9. I'm taking Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's triple option offense.
Don't want to jump on the toast here, but isn't that Sunbelt?
It is Sunbelt. You're on. You got me.
I didn't want to jump on it, but
San Jose State, I got you right back. There we go. You took me.
Goes for the break, yeah.
It starts.
Here we go. Georgia Southern, nice triple option offense. It's hard to guard. The clock's going to be moving. They're going to be moving fast. App State runs the ball just as much well. They're just more of a power run type of offense. I wouldn't say the under necessarily because they still move fast with those run offenses, but I think a 9-point cover, at least on the defensive side, I'd like Georgia Southern. How about you two?
Honestly, Georgia Southern impressed me with that win over FAU. I think that they were very impressive on and off that field a week ago against FAU. They won 20-3. Their defense looked really sharp, and I thought the FAU team was a little bit more snazzier than I guess I expected. But I do like Zach Thomas on the opposite side of the field. Zach Thomas is a monster at quarterback. He's going to show the Sun Belt why he's one of the best ones in that quarterback in the conference. There's still
he's in the draft, by the way.
Yeah, well, maybe late.
Just throwing it out there.
Nothing crazy, but 9 points is a lot. I'm going for the under in this one. I think that this game's not going to go over. I think both teams are going to run this football and keep the ball inbounds, let the time tick. And I'm not quite sure who. I think Appalachian State's going to pull the win out. Maybe not by the 9 points, but that's why I'm going to go with the under.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with you, not trying to jump on Appalachian State here. I think Appalachian State is a bunch of big boys this year. I've actually had them in a few games. Overs for one. I've had them in a few overs. Their offense is pretty damn good. They run really well, and they stack. They can put up 34. It's nice, and it kind of fluctuates throughout the game. Like they're not really fast with it. Like they move the ball very slow. 5-6 minute offenses, and they put 34 on you. And I think with Georgia Southern not being able to put up the points that Appalachian State can, it's going to be a long, drawn-out game. I'm thinking Appalachian State with the points. I think the -9. I would see like a 30, 31-17 because Georgia Southern not going to be able to move the ball against them. Appalachian State's boys, they can stuff those holes. And Georgia Southern is nothing impressive by all means.
All right. Next game, we're going down to Gainesville. It's going to be LSU, Florida. Florida, number 6 in the nation, 8-1, favored by 23.5. I'm going to start it off. I'm all over LSU this game. I think they're not as good as nothing close to what they were last year. They're still bad. But I've watched this Florida team. They win big. They do. But it just, when you watch them, they do not look to. They just don't look like they're dominating teams. It just looks like they get to the goal line, and then sure enough, Trask throws it to Pitts. It's a touchdown, but that's it. They don't look like they're all out just manhandling teams. And I think a 23-point spread is just too much for them to handle. And I think they have too much looking forward to go in here and handle an LSU team that's still trying to make a name for themselves. I think Coach O is going to have them fired up. I'm all over LSU by the 23.5.
Slow down. Kyle Trask is this year's Heisman champion. He's winning Heisman.
Mac Jones, baby.
Joe Burrow reunion.
Okay, well, Kyle Trask has put up better numbers than Joe Burrow did last year through the first 10 games. It's ridiculous. This guy is doing something insane. He's rising on everyone's draft boards just like Joe Burrow did. He's doing basically what Joe Burrow did, besides the supporting hand. Florida doesn't have 17 first rounders like the LSU team did. No. Who's the best tight end in college football? Kyle Pitts. Who's the best quarterback in college football right now? Kyle Trask.
False. Trevor Lawrence.
Numbers-wise.
Numbers-wise, probably Mac Jones.
Kyle Trask. Heisman
Has Mac Jones thrown an interception?
Listen.
Watch it. Hey,
they're going to win by 30-something points tomorrow. They're going to absolutely obliterate Coach O.
Has Mac Jones thrown an interception this year?
I don't believe so.
Kyle Trask is Heisman champion. Stop it. Stop whatever you're researching over there. It's
Mac
not.
Jones has 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 3
Heisman?
picks.
Stop.
Kyle Trask is Heisman champion this year.
How? Justin Fields is ridiculous. How?
3,243 passing yards, 38 passing touchdowns.
So, because of
Who have they
cancellation.
played? The one competition they played, they lost to.
I don't want to hear that. And LSU is not a competition.
This is the difference between Heisman's their big dog. You gotta win. And Florida lost. Florida will not be getting their Heisman winner because Trask lost.
Do you have to be
go to either
saying you're undefeated to win the Heisman?
Mac Jones,
You don't have to.
Ohio State.
Look, man,
Deshaun Watson.
didn't win it.
But the Heisman Trophy was also given out before they won, too. Back in the day, it used to come out like the week before the bowl games.
I'm just saying, he didn't win Heisman. Kyle Trask will win Heisman. Kyle Trask will win the game.
3,455 yards.
This is what I'm saying about that Florida team. You got Kyle Trask's stats, but they're not exciting to watch. They're really not. They're I think LSU is
I
covering
haven't bet on them all year.
because they
I
have
have not
those high point
all
spreads,
year.
and you're like, do I really, really want to take that? Is that what I want to do with my life today? Sit here and watch Florida football?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Okay. Someone tried to interrupt my call.
I'm tired of hearing you. You guys both spitting over their stupid facts over there in your minds. Florida's winning by 31 points tomorrow. Take it to the grave.
That's a crazy thing to say because they haven't beaten a team by 30 this whole season. I don't know how you even say that.
LSU is disappointing. I think we lost Darian over there, a little frozen.
He should be able to. He'll figure it out. He'll join. He's good.
He's good like that.
Am I back here?
You're terrible.
I'm still on this
Phone
LSU.
call messed it up.
But we'll move on from that. Next game, La Tech, TCU, Duggan by 21.5 points. It's probably a game I won't touch either. Not a fan of any of it. I can't trust a 4-loss team by 20 points. That's hard to do.
No, it is hard to do, especially just because their leading rusher is also their leading passer. It's a little awkward to know that their running backs aren't really getting that much involved. It's definitely concerning. I would stay away from this game as well.
I looked at this game and I thought it was like ironic to see a TCU and a La Tech game in December. Who cares? It's another one of those. Who cares? I don't.
All right, moving on. Auburn, Mississippi State. Auburn by 6.5. Mike Leach's Mississippi State team. I think still rocking KJ Costello down there. What are you guys taking?
Auburn.
Bo Nix, I think we're all in agreement of that.
I'm a huge fan of Bo Nix still. I know he's still so young, you know? He's just
You chill out over there.
Oh my goodness gracious! You need to watch your mouth over there. You know what I'm saying? You know, mess around. I'm gonna have to take.
We're with Auburn here. I'm pretty sure that's it. I think that spread's too low to be honest. It might even be a lock for some of you. But hey, Mike Leach is down there with that air raid. I told you about him. Should have stayed at Washington State. But
he also.
Yeah, I'm all over Bo Nix tomorrow. He's gonna light it up.
I wouldn't be shocked if that Auburn defense swallows that offensive line. You know that?
Yeah.
Especially after losing to Alabama the week before, 2 weeks ago. They're gonna swallow them up, man.
Oh yeah.
All right. Next game we're rocking the Cavaliers down in Blacksburg against the Virginia Tech Hokies. Hokies and Hendon Hooker are favored by 3 points. Not touching it. Too close of a spread for a rivalry game. I don't want no part of it. Both teams are who cares? I think it's kind of been a disappointing season for Virginia Tech. They started off pretty high ranked. Hendon Hooker's still a monster, but I'm not going anywhere near it.
I like Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert's a monster running back. I think they're going to cover the 3-point spread. I think they're going to come out with this one with the win, especially because it's a rivalry game and it is also their senior night. I think they're going to play hard. They're going to get through. They're going to come in 5-6 season. And I think Herbert's going to have a good day tomorrow.
I think that I haven't done it for Virginia Tech game since Frank Beamer was the coach. That program's awful. I don't want no part of that game. I think both programs are choke artists, and they're always in the same position in December, begging for change.
Next game, we're going to jump back into the Mountain West. You got San Diego State and an independent BYU by 17.
Blowout.
I'm taking San Diego State plus the 17, honestly.
Oh,
BYU season is done. All their hopes, their dreams, they were blown last week by, I think, a Sun Belt team is the Chanticleers. You know how disappointing that is? To have your potential playoff hopes shattered by the Chanticleers.
Well, look, they got that game notice 4 days before.
Shouldn't have accepted it.
They cheated.
4 days before because Liberty had COVID. She's like, oh, let's just go fly to Coastal Carolina and play a good, hard-fighting Coastal Carolina team on the road.
It's crazy that you say that because you said you didn't want to take Coastal Carolina by 13. So I remember these things for these moments.
Anyways, Zach Wilson has to prove himself. Everyone's talking about this Zach Wilson guy. He's out there trying to compete with Mac Jones, Kyle Trask, Justin Fields, and Trevor Lawrence to be a top 5 quarterback taken in this draft this year.
Realize, ladies and gentlemen, he started with Mac Jones and not Kyle Trask first. We know who the real SEC quarterback is.
He's fighting for a chance to be a top 5 drafted quarterback.
I think you guys got it all wrong. I think Kellen Mond's coming back to destroy everything. Kellen Mond's the man.
Why don't you just sit down over there and go back to your Mountain West expertise? Anyways, Zach Wilson, he needs to go off tomorrow to keep his draft stock up because it went down just a little bit after that loss. He needs to keep fighting and keep producing, or else his draft stock's going to keep falling.
All right. Stanford, Oregon State. Darian, who you taking Stanford by 2.5?
You know, Stanford, when you hear Stanford football, you thought of Coach Shaw and his traditional hard-nosed defense. They used to be hard to move the ball against, right? They would average like 17 a game.
I remember years ago, face your Notre Dame team. That was a crazy game.
I would attack what is the over and under on this one?
Stephon Taylor,
Because-
you know what I'm talking? The Stephon Taylor routine.
What's the over and under in that one?
52.5.
Take the over. Oregon State's defense is really bad. They're really, really bad. That's the hint of a lot of their losses is because their defense can't stop nobody. And Stanford's defense is awful. And I'm going to be honest, we'll even dig deeper. Stanford's offense, David Mills, that guy can line it up. Even though he loses, the dude lights it up. So even if they take a loss this weekend yet again, they're still going to light up 28-31, 38-28, 38-31. I wouldn't be shocked. They're going to light it up regardless. I think both sides of the ball are going to have a lot of fun tomorrow.
I'm all over Stanford in this one. I think they're going to blow Oregon State out the water. I like David Mills to come out there and have a good game for himself. Stanford always kind of does this. They lose 2 games, but then they always blow some team out the water eventually. And this Oregon State team just hasn't been good in a couple of years, and this is the year they get shattered on.
Yeah, that's another reason why I like the open one.
Back to the Mountain West for these next 2. We got Fresno State, New Mexico, 9:30 late game. Fresno State by 12. I'm not a fan of the Mountain West. I've only been rooting for San Jose State this year. I think they're the team. I'm not going to any of the next 2 games. I actually did, though, take that Hawaii money line when they were 7-point dogs against Nevada and won that. So, Hawaii.
Isn't it hard to play in Hawaii? I'm sure we'll get back to that in a moment. But isn't it hard to go to Hawaii?
That's the last game on the slate is Hawaii.
Yeah, we're going to get to that later. Oh, man. So what was the game we were at? Where are we at right now? What is that game we're at?
Here. This right here is the money pick of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Fresno State is going to destroy New Mexico. New Mexico is absolutely garbage. They are god-awful. They're not good. Fresno State is going to win by 28 points in this game. They're only favored by 12. They are way too good of a football team to lose to this New Mexico team.
You know, I think I agree with him on that. I think if for the fans out there that are doing your wacky parlays, your 8-teamers, your 5-teamers, I would have Fresno State on there because New Mexico's defense is abysmal. The team is terrible. They're giving up 30 at their best effort. I don't care if they're sweating, drying off, Gatorade running. At their best effort, they're giving up 30. And this Fresno State's defense is rough, too. They're rough. They got some big boys on that line. New Mexico's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
All right. Last game on the slate, and then we'll get into our guaranteed lock picks. UNLV, Hawaii. Hawaii by 20 down in Honolulu. What we taking?
Woo. Hawaii, man. Hawaii. I mean, don't we get it? Don't we get it? This UNLV football team, I've been watching them all year long. Every snap. I've seen the game tapes on YouTube. I've seen the game tapes all over the websites. This team cannot play. Cordero is going to have the best night of his life in Hawaii. Oh, man. Set me up for the 20.5 for sure.
You know, did you guys see the story of Max Gillum?
No.
He ate sushi off a model at a club live. It was on like a TV.
And he's 0-5.
ESPN. Everyone's just blowing this guy up. Don't be surprised if he doesn't play tomorrow. He won't play. He's just starting quarterback, but I don't think he's gonna play tomorrow. Hasn't been announced. I don't think he's even gonna play tomorrow. But it would be kind of exciting to watch the Rodgers guy finally get a chance in this offense. I want to see him go out there and thrive. I'm taking UNLV plus the 19 points in this one. I think this is the chance that they take that little bit of a corner show.
Wow. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Let's let you get away with that. We're gonna immediately get off of that, and we're gonna go into our triple
I
D.
guess we have to.
3 locks of the day.
The 3.
The 3 of them. Donovan, since you're the youngest of us, why don't you go ahead and hit them first with your lock? This is his winner. He's done the most research on it.
The one you got to place the bucks on,
This
boys.
is where
Gotta
your
get it, boys
is
and girls.
going. Now, we
Gotta
always
get it.
have our own locks, which is why we give 3, but we've always all collided together to get the one guaranteed pick to where you could put your bank on it. What they used to say in the movie, your children's unborn children. Go get yourself a Hellcat, a Demon, a Ferrari,
My
a
favorite,
G-Wagon.
my
All
favorite
three
is
of
put
us
the
came
house on it.
together for that guaranteed pick. But you're going to have to subscribe to the channel to get that free guaranteed pick. But we're going to give you 3 locks right now. Donovan, what is your lock?
Ladies, I know we've been talking about college football all day long, but I'm going to switch gears over here a little bit. Does anyone know who Brandon Moreno is? Cool, me either. Deiveson Figueiredo, UFC lightweight champion, is going to absolutely destroy this guy in his fight. I don't care what's in your bank account. Okay? Take it, and you're going to flip it tomorrow night on this guy. Drop your bank account on this guy to win the fight tomorrow night. UFC fight 256. Take Figueiredo.
Do you happen to know the odds for Figueiredo, the people out there?
Well, you know, the lines, they're changing up and down. It doesn't really matter what the lines are. Jump all over Figueiredo on this one. Doesn't matter what the line is. Minus 2,000. Go throw 6,000.
I like it. I like it.
Figueiredo right now is currently
And when you,
he's minus 330, so it's not that bad of an odd. Total
it's
round.
not bad at all.
So that's your pick, Deiveson Figueiredo.
Absolutely. He's going to be the flyweight title champion.
All right, lock it in.
But
ladies
that brings
and
you up
gentlemen.
to the plate, Dominic. See, that's where we're at.
So now, this is the pick I'm happening. Last week, Missouri was barely beating Arkansas. I know Connor Blazak is a monster over at Missouri, and they're 25 in the nation, and this, and this, but I don't want to hear it. They were driven down to the final play by KJ Jefferson of that Arkansas team. KJ Jefferson scores. They didn't go for 2. Get the 2-point conversion on a tipped ball. Arkansas takes the lead by 1. Connor Blazak drives all the way upfield in the span of, I think it was like 30 seconds to get Missouri a game-winning field goal, and they are riding emotions high. JT Daniels has been lighting it up for the Bulldogs. They have found their mojo. Take Georgia by the 13.5. I cannot be more serious. That they are Georgia. They are 9 in the nation for a reason. Missouri is a COVID-ranked team. They ranked because they beat Arkansas, who is garbage. Please take Georgia. If you're not taking the UFC fight, take Georgia. Please. 13.5. I can't be more serious. With that, I'm just going to transfer over. My emotions are in that pick. Darian, as the oldest, the final pick of the day. Who
The final pick.
taking?
So, if for some reason you still haven't figured it out yet after the last 2 good-ass locks, we're going to jump on in here. We're going to get my 3rd lock. We're loving the West Coast, right? I'm loving Southern Cal. You got to love Keaton Slovis in that offense. In UCLA, well, they're still lost, man. I think Chip Kelly's trying to reminisce about the old days. And he's going to reminisce tomorrow when he's down 30 to USC. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be ugly. The USC team, they get wins first off. So you ain't got to worry about it. It's 3.5. I think we got it at 3.5 right now.
Yep.
They're going to get it done. They're going to get the 4-point win. The UCLA team's defense is bad. I watched Arizona actually have success for a little bit against that defense. That shows you, for some of you that actually watch Pac-12 football and caught tonight's Arizona game, that shows you how bad UCLA is. How in the world are you going to give up so many mistakes against an Arizona team that does nothing? Jump all over USC. I've been waiting for my moment on this. I'm telling you, I'm not losing the first lock. All right? Get on USC tonight, tomorrow night. Get on them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dominic, Darian, and Donovan. We have we talked college football all day today. But if you guys want the premier pick of a week, and we got NFL, college football, baseball, hockey, basketball, whatever it is, subscribe to the page for the VIP pick. Us 3 pick our brains together, and we have not lost yet. This is why we decided to do this show. We are killing it this year, making money, screwing over COVID. This is what you need to do. Get down these numbers. Reach out to us on social media. Subscribe to the YouTube. Let us know what you need, and we will make you that money. All you got to do is hit one of our lines if you guys want to talk real business and real money. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We will hope you guys the best on your picks tomorrow. And if you lost because you went against one of us, now you know better.
That's right.